Introduction to controllers in NestJS. Introduction to controllers. Hello, everyone. We're going to look at the concept of controllers in the NestJS framework. So you can think of controllers as the traffic cops of our application. They handle incoming requests and determine the appropriate service method to execute in response. So in NestJS, controllers are defined using classes, and they utilize decorators to route these requests effectively. And this setup allows for a organized and structured approach to handling different parts of application through the web interface. Creating a basic controller. So let's try to understand how to create a basic controller in NestJS. A controller is simply a class decorated with controller. And this controller decorator optionally takes a route path. For instance, this controller cats would handle routes that start with cats. So inside a controller, we can use method decorators like get, post, put, etc. to respond to different types of HTTP requests. And if you look at our cats controller, you can see that the get decorator above the find all method means that if a get request is made to cat's endpoint, this method will handle that request. Simplifying CRUD operations. So NestJS provides a really useful tool through its CLI to streamline creating CRUD controllers. Those are controllers that manage creating, reading, updating, and deleting resources. By running NestG resource and the resource name, what the framework does is that it scaffolds a complete set of controllers with these operations, including validation checks. And this feature really speeds up development and helps maintain consistent coding practices across your entire application. So if you look at this example, NestG resource cats, and this command automatically generates a full CRUD controller for cats with all related methods and routes predefined. Request and response handling. So moving on to how we handle requests and response in NestJS, there are two main approaches. The first is the standard method, and the standard method involves returning data directly from controller methods, which NestJS then automatically serializes to JSON or sends as primitive types. However, if you need more control over the response, you can use the library-specific method by injecting a response object, such as a response from express package, and this allows you to manually set status codes, headers, or other response parameters. This can be powerful, but with power, you requires careful handling to maintain clean and testable code. Advanced routing, route parameters. So NestJS also supports advanced routing techniques. You can define route parameters directly in your route path to capture specific values from a URL, like an ID. So wildcard routes allow you to handle multiple routes using a single handler, and subdomain routing can serve different parts of your application under different subdomains, all within the same application architecture. And these features give you the flexibility to design your app's URL structure in a customizable way. So this first example you see is using route parameter. You can see that we are using ID parameter. And the next slide uses wildcard routes. As we said, wildcard routes allow you to handle multiple routes using a single handler. So you can see there is AB star CD. So any route that matches this pattern will be served with this. And then subdomain routing, you can see that you can provide host information. So based on this host information, we can use different controllers. Asynchronous handlers, handling data often involves asynchronous operations, especially if you're dealing with databases or external APIs. What NestJS does is NestJS is built to handle these naturally. So you can define asynchronous handlers that return promises or even use RxJS observables to manage more complex data flows. So this is really important if you want to build a non-blocking backend in Node.js. And we can see that this cats controller has asynchronous handler here, find all, that returns promises. And it's calling cat find all from method from cat service. Practical example. So here is an example from the website. We can see the controller with not just get and post methods, but we have put and delete method. And you can see that post method has body decorator to automatically parse any incoming JSON data into a TypeScript class. And these patterns are not just syntactically elegant, but they encapsulate a lot of functionality in a few lines of code. And this definitely makes your application robust and easy to maintain. I highly recommend you looking into other decorators to learn more about them. Conclusion, NestJS controllers are a powerful way to handle web requests and structure your application's business logic. And NestJS uses combination of TypeScript and its decorators to provide clear yet flexible way to define routing and handling logic. We obviously didn't cover everything in controllers, so I highly encourage you to look into the official NestJS documentation and experiment with creating your own controllers. That's it for this lecture. Thank you, everyone.